Hello everyone. Welcome to this lesson on tone and attitude in TOEFL reading. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the tone and attitude of a TOEFL reading passage or its author. You will also learn how to correctly answer tone and attitude questions by recognizing specific linguistic clues and understanding the author's perspective. These question types are essential in the TOEFL ITP reading section. They test your ability to understand the author's emotions or perspective, not just what they say, but how they say it, and what they feel about it. Tone reflects the overall mood or feeling of the passage. For example, is the passage informative, critical, or optimistic? Attitude, on the other hand, shows the author's specific stance or feeling toward a particular topic discussed in the text. For instance, is the author approving or skeptical about a certain idea? This lesson is designed for advanced English learners at the B1 level. You will learn effective strategies to recognize tone and attitude through careful analysis of word choice, context, and sentence structure. We'll practice with examples, and then you'll take a mini test with 5 questions, 3 on tone and 2 on attitude, to check your skills. Let's dive in. So, let's clarify what are tone and attitude questions. First, tone questions. These ask about the overall mood or writing style of the entire passage. For example, a question might be, what is the tone of the passage? The answer might be objective, if it presents facts neutrally, or admiring, if it expresses strong positive feelings, all based on the language the author uses. Second, attitude questions. These focus on the author's specific feelings, opinion, or stance toward a particular subject within the passage. For example, what is the author's attitude toward X? The answer might be supportive, if the author uses positive language about X, or critical, if they use negative language or point out problems. Remember the key difference. Tone describes the general atmosphere or emotional coloring of the entire passage. Attitude refers to the author's specific, often more focused, personal view on a single topic or idea discussed within that passage. Why are these types of questions so important for your TOEFL score? Tone and attitude questions often make up about 10 to 15% of the TOEFL IPT reading questions. They are important because they test your ability to interpret subtle meanings and understand the author's intent, which goes beyond just understanding facts. This is a key skill for advanced academic reading. Mastering these questions helps you analyze texts critically, which is a crucial skill in university settings. It also helps you understand lectures or discussions where speakers convey their opinions and feelings through their tone and word choice. Now, let's explore how to answer tone and attitude questions effectively. Let's start with tone questions. First, read the entire passage to get a general understanding of its overall mood. Is it formal or informal? Emotional or neutral? Second, look for descriptive words. Pay attention to adjectives, adverbs, and verbs that carry strong feelings. For example, words like amazing suggest admiration, while unfortunately suggests regret or sadness. Third, check sentence structure. Short, direct sentences might create an urgent or decisive tone, while longer, more complex sentences often contribute to an academic or reflective tone. Fourth, when choosing an answer, eliminate extreme tones. Academic passages in TOEFL rarely have tones like angry, bitter, or sarcastic. Look for more balanced or professional options. Finally, choose the tone that matches the passage's overall style. For a text full of facts, informative is often a good choice. For a text expressing appreciation, admiring fits well. Now, for attitude questions. First, identify the specific topic mentioned in the question. This could be a person, an event, or an idea. Go directly to the part of the passage where this topic is discussed. Second, note the author's word choice when talking about that specific topic. Does the author use words like innovative, beneficial, or impressive? This shows approval. Or do they use words like problematic, challenging, or insufficient? This shows criticism. Third, consider the context. Does the author emphasize positive aspects or negative aspects when discussing this topic? Look at the overall feeling in those sentences. Fourth, eliminate answers that don't align with the author's specific words or their overall focus on that topic. Finally, choose the attitude that accurately reflects the author's specific stance or feeling toward that particular subject. Let's look at some examples. Here's example passage. The Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal, in Agra, India, is a breathtaking monument of white marble, completed in 1653. Emperor Shah Jahan built it as a tomb for his wife Mumtaz Mahal, who died during childbirth. Its stunning symmetry, with 4 minarets and a central dome, reflects Mughal architectural genius. Over 20,000 workers labored for 22 years, using materials from across Asia. The cost was immense, straining the empire's resources, yet the result is a masterpiece that awes visitors. In 1983, it became a UNESCO World Heritage Site, celebrated for its beauty. Today, 8 million tourists visit annually, though pollution and overcrowding threaten its preservation. Restoration efforts are ongoing, but some damage is irreversible. The Taj Mahal's story is one of love, sacrifice, and artistic triumph, though its construction reveals the heavy burden placed on the empire. Now, for a tone question. Tone question. What is the overall tone of the passage? A. Critical. B. Informative. C. Humorous. D. Pessimistic. The passage presents facts about the Taj Mahal's history, construction, and challenges in a neutral, academic style. While it uses words like breathtaking and stunning, the primary goal is to provide information. So, B. Informative is the best answer. It's not critical, humorous, or consistently pessimistic. Now it's your turn to practice. For this activity, imagine you ask ChatGPT to provide a short passage about a technological advancement, include tone and attitude in TOEFL reading, and ask you 2 ABCD questions, and you will give it the answers. Then, you will have the short passage, and you could answer the questions. To summarize, here are some important tips for success to help you master tone and attitude questions. First, practice identifying tone regularly. Read news articles, essays, or even editorials from reputable sources like BBC or National Geographic, and try to describe the author's tone. Second, highlight emotional or opinion-based words in the passage. These words are usually strong clues to the author's feelings. Third, avoid overly emotional answers unless the passage clearly and strongly supports them. In academic TOEFL texts, very strong emotions like bitter or furious are uncommon. And finally, as always, time yourself. Practice answering these questions efficiently to build your speed.